Okay, so before we get into the dreamy day trip to Como, first let me quickly show you the hotel we stayed at. It's called BNB Hotel, a super common and budget-friendly chain all over Europe. This is our small, cute hotel room. That's the entrance door. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा storage है, like you can keep our coats, our clothes. There's a small locker here. There's a small study table. We got a chair with it. अभी घर थोड़ा सा, I wouldn't say messy है, but we are now leaving for the airport. So thought of just showing you the room. This is the toilet. There's a TV. There's a small table, I would say. There's a beautiful window. यहाँ पे एक mirror है. It's me. There's a mini fridge. And this is the window. The view is really nice. If you see, you can actually, if I'm zooming in, you can see beautiful range of snow-capped mountains. Can you see? Some B&B hotels also include a breakfast buffet, and we were lucky to book one of them. And trust me, they offer a really good spread. Freshly baked pastries, buttery croissants, eggs, sausages, cold cuts, different kinds of breads, cereals, fruits, juices, coffee, pretty much everything you could ask for to kickstart your day. The metro connectivity is really good in Milan, and I think going around the city by taking the metro would be the best option if you guys are here. Alright, moving on. To reach Como, you gotta come to Milano Central Station. It's huge, it's busy, and honestly, it's a vibe on its own. So you can get tickets from the ticket counters here, or you can also use these ticket machines, but I would prefer going and speaking to the persons who are in the counter so that they can explain us what's the best route. Now, thoda sa geography. Como is basically this beautiful Y-shaped lake in Italy. Around it, there are these fairy tale towns like Bellagio, Varenna and Bellagio. Pure medieval vibes, super scenic, super romantic. Of course, you can stay in any of these cute towns if you're planning a relaxed holiday. But if you're like thoda budget conscious traveler like us, then a day trip from Milan is just perfect. One small advice, try to catch an early morning train, okay? Because jaise din chadta hai, trains get crazy crowded, like literally people sitting on the floor type crowded. Oh, and by the way, having a ticket doesn't guarantee you a seat, so be ready for a little standing adventure if you are late. If you walk straight out from the station, you'll be able to see this signage which says ferry boat. So we are now walking towards the ferry. Once you see the signage, honestly just follow the crowd. Everyone's usually heading towards the ferry boat. Another helpful tip, buy your ferry tickets in advance. Peak seasons mein queues get insane. I'm dropping the link in the description from where you can book your ferry tickets in advance. Ferries between Varenna and Bellagio run roughly every 30 minutes to 1 hour depending on the season. If you have time, you can explore Varenna first or keep it for the return trip, totally your call. Since we had some time, we decided to wander around Varenna first. And oh my god, it's straight out of postcard. These are some of the things that you can do in Varenna. The moment you step into Verenna, you are greeted by colorful old houses, cobbled alleys, stone staircases, and little flower balconies. Verenna is all about slowing down and soaking in the vibe. Every street feels like a hidden painting. Pastel walls, hanging vines, rustic doors, all leading towards glimpses of the sparkling lake. Take your time here, get lost in the alleys, chase the cats, find secret corners, because that's where Verenna's real charm lives. Next, Villa Monastero is a must visit. It's a historic villa with a gorgeous botanical garden stretching along the lakeside for about 2 kilometers. Originally, it was a Cistercian monastery built around the 12th century, later converted into a luxurious private villa. Now it's open to the public, and trust me, it's stunning. The gardens are full of exotic plants, marble statues, and terraces that give you Instagram perfect lake views. Entry tickets start around €5, totally worth it if you want those living my Italian dream shots in your gallery. There's also the Walk of Love, a short but beautiful lakeside walkway right by the ferry dock. It's built almost hanging over the lake with colorful railings, flowers, and breathtaking mountain views. In 5 minutes, you'll feel like you're walking inside a movie scene. Super romantic. When you are tired from all that walking, and trust me, you will be, settle down at one of the cozy lakeside cafes. Order a coffee or a pizza, or better, grab a gelato and sit by the water. The pace of life here is just slow and beautiful. After soaking in all the fairy tale feels of Varenna, we hopped on the ferry to Bellagio. Welcome to Bellagio, the Pearl of Lake Como, and you'll immediately understand why it's called that. The ferry ride itself is like a mini adventure with the wind in your hair, sparkling waters, and postcard perfect views all around. Here's what all you can do in Bellagio. The first thing you'll notice, those steep cobble stairways, the famous Salite, especially Salita Sarbaloni, the main climb lined with boutique shops, art galleries, and tiny restaurants. It's colorful, lively, and full of charm. You'll find silk scarves, handmade jewelry, Italian leather goods, and gourmet food shops selling local olive oils and wines. Tip: even if you're not shopping, just walking through these lanes is pure joy. Next up, Villa Melzi Gardens. This is another dreamland where you can walk around beautiful exotic gardens right by the lakeside. Fun fact, Villa Melzi was built in the early 19th century for Francesco Melzi de Eril, a high-ranking Italian nobleman and politician during Napoleon's rule. While the main villa is private, the gardens are open to the public, filled with rare plants, sculptures, Japanese water features, and tree-lined walkways. Entry costs around €8 and it's worth every penny for the peace, views, and honestly the photography. You'll find little spots to sit, read, or just stare at the mesmerizing lake. After spending an afternoon wandering through Bellagio's dreamy lanes and gardens, we caught the ferry back to Varenna. The sunset over the lake was absolutely magical. Ended the day with a cozy dinner by the water and finally boarded the train back to Milan. Tired but so full of heart. Some trips don't just stay in your photo gallery, they stay in your heart. Lake Como, you were magic. See you guys super soon in the next vlog. Till then, stay curious and keep exploring.